and gentlemen, how you all doing? Hope everybody's doing really well. Back with another video today, and guys, I know for a fact you guys are going to really appreciate this video. The reason why I know, guys, is because I have been asked this very question that we're going to discuss today many times. I have not done a video on it yet until today, because I have just basically been answering it on individual basis as it comes up, but it is worthy of a dedicated video. I should have probably done it a while back. I did touch on it in a couple of videos, but I didn't get in depth. So today we are going to get in depth on the question that was asked to me just the other day. Joe, how much eccentric should I be using? All right, now, you guys might not be aware, but I actually individually coach. Now, listen, this isn't an invitation, guys. It's not an invitation. Please don't reach out to me all of a sudden and be like, hey, Joe, can you coach me? I have individually coached people for free over the period of time that I've started this channel. And I hope that those people now are doing well with their training. I hope they appreciated the information. The reason why I did this, guys, is because I felt like sometimes people need a little bit of help. And if I can be there to help, well, that's what this channel's for. I want to be able to help. But again, please don't use this as an invitation for me to start coaching you. Guys, I have moved away from that. I've been trying to kind of distance myself from it simply because life gets super busy. As you know, I work a full-time job. I have a wife. I do these videos and this content for you. There's a lot going on in life, and so I'm trying to distance that. But the reason why I mention it is because throughout all the people that I have coached, everybody has asked me, what amount of eccentric do I use? Because I know you love eccentric mode, Joe, so what do I use? All right, so let's start off with the fact that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a personal trainer. Well, I guess I am a personal trainer in a way. Technically, in New York, you don't actually have to be licensed to be a personal trainer, so I guess I am a personal trainer, but to some capacity. But not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. For every other purpose out there, I'm not a personal trainer. Guys, I'm just a guy who has opinions, who has some experience, and wants to be able to help and share with the beautiful community on YouTube, the wonderful people that are on this channel, all right? So, first of all, let's talk about eccentric mode. Eccentric mode is going to automatically give you a certain amount of eccentric per exercise, okay? That percentage is calculated by Tonal, right? Tonal has decided, hey, for a certain amount of weight, we're going to give you this amount of eccentric off the bat. I forget, I think it's 20% of the working load, something around there, but it doesn't matter what that is. At the end of the day, it's giving you a certain amount of eccentric percentage, okay? Now, some things that you're going to want to take into consideration are, number one, how much eccentric can you handle? Now, Tonal is giving you a certain amount of preset eccentric because they're giving you a balance, okay? And obviously, they give you the opportunity to change the amount of eccentric, okay? I think it goes up to, you can have 60% of your workload be eccentric, something along those lines. Again, the percentages don't really matter. At the end of the day, they let you change eccentric around as much as you want. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm not going to get into what eccentric is. If you're watching this video and you don't know what it is, I've done plenty of videos on what eccentric is and how it's beneficial. I'll link some up at the end. All right, so how much eccentric can you personally handle? Tonal gives you a preset amount because they feel like that amount is a good working amount. And it's going to give you a very good amount of concentric, and then it's going to give you a very good amount of eccentric, a very nice amount. And I got to say, they do a great job with calculating that. But how much eccentric can you actually handle? Guys, you might not be able to even handle the amount of eccentric that comes back at you. So for example, let me give you an example. Let's say I'm working with a 60-pound base weight on triceps, for example, right? 60-pound base weight. And now all of a sudden, the automatic eccentric percentage that Tonal wants to put is 15. Well, maybe I personally, for whatever reason, can't handle that 15%. I want to lower that, right? Or perhaps maybe you're weak that day. You're kind of burned out. And you can't handle as much eccentric as you did on another day. These are the things you got to look at. How much eccentric can you personally handle? That's going to come down to you experimenting. And honestly, guys, that might change on a daily basis. And is there anything wrong with that changing? Absolutely not. Guys, eccentric mode is a tool that you're going to use in order to get the maximum amount of gains possible, okay? Eccentric training, as I've discussed in the past, super good for building muscle mass. So it's a tool, it's something you're going to use like, like any other tool, like, adding resistance bands to a barbell. Are you going to do it every time? No, you're not going to do it every time. But when you do, it's going to help you to be able to get more of more of a load, all right? More of a load on a certain point during an exercise. It's a tool. Use it as such and experiment and listen to your body. I've done videos, guys, where I've shown you my personal workout routines. I have a playlist on the channel called My Personal Exercise Routines or something along those lines. Check out that playlist. I show you what I do. I will experiment throughout my workouts to find a great amount of eccentric that's good for me for that day. Good for me for that session. Good for me for the amount of growth I am looking to attain. Experiment, guys. It's there for a reason. They give you the option to change it for a reason, okay? All right. So the second thing you want to look at is how much concentric do you actually want? The more eccentric that you have, the less concentric Tonal's going to give you. All right? So how much concentric do you want? Because concentric is very important. You do need concentric. Is it going to build the most amount of muscle size? No, it's not. But it is going to build your strength. Okay? If you're looking at bodybuilding, right? What we do on the Tonal. If you're looking at bodybuilding from a standpoint, a functional standpoint, guys, in the real world, in order to be able to do an eccentric, me bringing this tissue box down in a controlled way, you need the concentric because you have to lift it up first, right? Concentric movement is important. So keep that in mind. You want some concentric because you need to build your strength. And the eccentric is the controlled portion that you're going to be able to bring down with. They're both tools, your bodybuilding tools, okay? So keep that in mind. You still want some concentric. So back to the initial point, how much concentric do you actually want? Because the more eccentric you get, the less concentric you're going to get, all right? The next thing, remember, it's a tool. This machine is full of tools. How are you feeling on that individual day? How are you feeling? Do you feel like you can lift an incredible amount of concentric in order to get an incredible amount of eccentric? Guys, concentric movements are harder on your body. So let's say I am tired and run down. I've had a long day at work, but I know that I want to work out. I don't want to give this day away. I still want to train. Well, you might not be able to do an incredible amount of concentric. But as we know, if you watch these videos, guys, the eccentric is easier to perform and it builds more muscle. So, if you're feeling tired that day, maybe you want to turn the eccentric all the way up, right? So that you have a super light concentric and now a very heavy eccentric. So you're going to burn your muscles out on the eccentric, the portion that's going to take less physical energy from your body. Makes sense to me? So use it as the tool that it is, all right? The next point is if you're feeling weak, right? We just discussed if you're tired, or if you're approaching failure during a set, all right? Let's say I'm working out on Tonal and I have it on the standard amount of eccentric that Tonal gives me when I'm doing, let's say, a bicep curl, right? If I have it on the standard amount and now all of a sudden I'm done, I feel like I'm burning out, But I am super dedicated, guys. I have a goal, and I need to get to that goal. What can I do? Well, you can throw it. You have a couple of options. You can throw it on spotter mode, right? Spotter mode is going to slowly decrease the weight and help you to finish your reps, right? You can throw it on burnout mode, which is even better than spotter mode. Burnout mode, in my opinion, is the perfected spotter mode. So you would throw it on burnout mode where you could just keep doing reps, repping away, and it'll slowly bring down your weight. Or another option that you have is you can quite literally just throw up the eccentric to just get a few more sets. So if I'm exhausting myself, every time you fail on a rep, it will be you failing. If you're a healthy, normal working human being and you don't have any injuries, you will be failing on the concentric. So lower the concentric, turn up the eccentric, and now you are using this tool to be able to lift super light and then come down super heavy. Because you, if you didn't do that, would have failed on lifting the super light part. So you're using it as a tool, guys. This is how I use Eccentric. If you guys look at my playlist, my exercise playlist, my personal exercise routines playlist, you will see that I explain to you that you need to experiment. You need to find what works with your body, and your body's going to be ever changing. One day you're going to be weaker because you didn't sleep enough. One day you're going to be weaker because you worked too hard at work. One day you're going to be weaker because you were so eager to get on your next set, your next exercise day, even though you're still not ready to do it. You haven't rested, you haven't recovered enough, but you're eager. So what are you going to do? Use these tools. Use them in any way that you see fit. Is there a right and wrong amount of eccentric? Absolutely not. Am I a doctor? No, I'm not. But I'm telling you from my personal experience. Guys, I switch eccentric up. Today I might be using 15 pounds eccentric in the beginning of my workout, and at the end I'll use 30 pounds eccentric. Or maybe on a different day I'll be tired, so I'll start off using the 30 pounds eccentric, and maybe as I go I'll start to feel a little more warmed up, and now I'm going to lower the eccentric and have more concentric. Guys, it depends on your goals too. We've discussed this. This machine is perfect for dialing in on the goals that you have. All right? So know your goals. And if you know your goals, you're going to know what tools on this machine you need to focus on. And I've done a video on that too, guys. Check that out. I'll link it up at the end, okay? You want to know your goal, because if you don't know your goal, you're not going to know what tools to use. All right, guys? So keep an eye on your goal. Experiment. Keep some of the things I mentioned in mind and use these as tools. I do not feel personally that there's any right or wrong way. Because if there was a right or wrong way, Tonal would be telling you, honestly. They'd be like, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Or they wouldn't let you to do it in the first place. All right? When it comes to your training, the most important thing you need to know is what your goal is. And how to achieve that goal, that's another story. That's what this channel's for. If you guys have questions that I might be able to help you with, let me know. Remember, I'm not a doctor. I'm not some genius. I'm just a regular guy who's trying to do the best he can to reach the goals that he wants to reach. And guys, I have some goals. You might know that my goal is to lose as much weight as possible while building as much muscle as possible. That's been the goal since I started this channel. I'm trying to get down to 10% body fat while not losing muscle, while actually gaining muscle. That's the goal. All right? So if I can be there to help in any possible way, I'm here. Guys, I appreciate the support that you show to me and to this channel, and I appreciate the fact that all the stuff that I say to you guys helps. It means a lot. I receive messages every single day thanking me for this channel, and guys, I wish I could thank each and every one of you individually every day. And I try to. I try to be on top of the comments. I try to get back to every single message. Guys, I do my very best. But keep in mind, guys, remember I mentioned it in the beginning of the video. Some of you guys know I have personally trained many of you. I have given you specific plans, but I need to try to get away from that because of my time. That is what the exercise, my personal exercise routine playlist is for. I will quite literally tell you everything you need to know in that playlist when it comes to how I work when it comes to this machine, all right? So you can find everything, you just got to do a little digging. Keep in mind, guys, keep in mind, I have over 100 videos or so. I don't even know how many videos on this machine. So more than likely, if you have a question, it's already been answered. It's already been answered in one of these videos. Check out the videos, guys. Use the playlists that I have. They're there's a lot of knowledge packed into those playlists. It's going to save you a lot of time. It's going to save you a lot of energy, and you're going to learn, and you're going to appreciate, and you're going to come to know what this machine is about and how you can use it in the best way possible. All right, guys, be safe. Talk soon. I'll catch you all at the next video.